a little bit hard for me to give advice, but ultimately you just
Akhirnya kita ganti main
Ya, kayak cuma ngomong-ngomong bahas-bahas gitu doang minor, gua pulang.
elephant and LTE. So the rest of it, like,
Tiga, dua, satu. Let's go cerita. Okay everybody, welcome back again to channel Papa Dejet. And yes, of course, kalian udah lihat di sini udah ada John, one of shortcaster in Southeast Asia right now, kind of bit more famous than me, of course. And yep, please welcome John, of course, here. Hello, John. How you doing?
Hello, happy to be here. Good, doing good. Open qualifiers are done. Close qualifiers left for Southeast Asia. Teams are building in, so the season's about to begin. It's looking good.
Okay, before we jump into to our main talking point right now, who's the winner of the reshuffle from you, from your point of view, John? I think, and the Southeast Asia, just Southeast Asia.
In Southeast Asia, I think we've got two winners, right,
Who
from
is
the
it?
reshuffling. I think Fnatic and Boom. I think Boom came out really strong.
Okay.
Building around FBZ, taking Yopaj and Scam,
Mm-hmm.
and then having Mushi as coach. Like, it's an incredibly strong team, and Tim's as well. Like, it's a really strong team going up. I think same thing for Fnatic. They put Jabs back in a core role, which is where he traditionally used to play for a long time before switching to 4. And then you have John Uwelder as well with Raven and DJ. It's like such a scary team. So I think those are the two teams that came out on top. You could maybe say Talon, but I don't think they really reshuffled. They're just a new team. So I think for teams that kind of were there and changed rosters, Fnatic, Boom kind of are up there, yeah.
All right, I kind of agree with the Fnatic, but Boom, I think it's just need a more time to prove it, right? Because they're not competing as a whole team in the DPC season. But yeah, but I do agree with your point over there. So yep, let's talk about what we promised to talk, of course. And so the things happens like a time bomb, right? And then shocking all over the Southeast Asia. Not only Southeast Asia, I believe, because everyone in Dota community right now is talking about this case, about the match fixing that happens in Southeast Asia, which involving Omega esports. So yeah, I mean, the match fixing happens not in the DPC last season, but someone said actually it's not said, but I think it's a fact that it happens on the Moon Studio tournament. Is that right?
I think so, because Moon herself came out and said that she forwarded the information. She gave a warning to everyone as well to behave properly, and then she received those reports. So she had documentation on her side. Likely that's the match where the evidence was presented, and I think that was forwarded to Valve and to BTS to kind of deliberate for the DPC.
Okay, so but the impact of this bad behavior from all the players, or maybe from the organization, I'm sorry, get noticed by Valve and the organizer, and then make them to not just drop, but just out of the DBC season. Is it fair enough for them? Like, my point is they're not doing it on the DPC season, but I know what they're doing is a bad behavior, and that's totally wrong. But is it fair, John, in your opinion?
In my view, it is. I think it takes away the integrity of the competition, right? No matter what tournament you play, it's almost like a long-standing problem that sometimes you just can't tell if a team's having a bad day or if they're throwing. And, when you're throwing, it just removes the integrity of that match. It's disrespectful to your opponents, it's disrespectful to your fans, disrespectful to your viewers, and just takes away the competition. So I think as a professional team, you have to be able to respect that. Okay. That social contract we have with everyone. When we play a game, we expect that you're playing the game. You're not rigging the game for profit. And I think that if a team can't do that, then it has to be dealt with. Like, we've had cases where, 3-2-2ing was kind of dealt with lighter. Like, say, with Solo, right? 3-2-2, he came back and he's reformed. I think this might seem a bit harsh, but this has been a long-standing issue, not just for Southeast Asia, but we had a recent stuff with NA, right, where BTS was doing as well. We had two teams go there. A couple of the players were forgiven, and it turns out they weren't directly involved, so they were given a pass. And there is room for that. There might be room for it for Smart Omega. I wouldn't know. I don't know the insider details. So if someone wants to come forward, I guess they could try to argue in a case but it's a long process. It's going to take a while for them to figure that out, and I think overall this is the right approach. Like, you have to be able to deter it. You have to put the maximal penalty to prevent that from happening.
Okay, so talking about the amount of money, because Moon itself, I think the one that said on the public too, when one of ex Fnatic coach Kips, I think, she asking like how much the money that they involving the match fixing. It's just only 1K, John. I think it's kind of bit tickle me, because it's just for 1K and then you lose all your career right now. I think like they make a big such a big mistake, I think, John.
Yeah, it's a massive mistake, but I can see it from their perspective as well. Like, I can empathize why they would do that. Although in Smart Omega's case, it's a bit hard because one, it's Smart Omega. It's like it's a telecom.
Yes,
In the Philippines, it's not some small company. It's a big company, nationwide carrier. So you'd expect them to be salaried. You'd expect them to actually be compensated for their time, to have maybe some of the living expenses covered for the team house. So in their case, it might be a little greedy, but I can understand why smaller teams face that issue. Let's say in NA, or let's say in South America, or in anywhere else, where teams are maybe not sponsored, not paid as much. The temptation is there, because let's say you're playing in smaller tournaments. You play in an online tournament. Prize pool is like 50,000, but most of that goes to number one. You place maybe 8th place. It's a low amount. You can make almost the same amount from betting that your team will lose, or betting that your team will get 10 kills first or whatever. And you just kind of go with it because it sounds like easy money. You're not making much anyway. The temptation's there. I can get why, but the risks are massive. It's never worthwhile. And I think people have to realize that. Like, if you are good, you'll climb up. If you have confidence in yourself, you're going to be big. You have to just keep playing and keep working on yourself, working on your team. You can't really risk it for just that one payout that some of these guys go for.
Okay, I think it's not about the financial problem for me, because like you said, Smart is a big company that supporting Omega right now, and also all the value that they gonna get when they play on the upper division will be more than enough to make a living, I think, for now in the Southeast Asia, and they just risk it for just 1K. I mean, like, I just don't get it, John. Actually, I just don't get it. And yeah, I think. Talking about the slot right now, after the drama that happens, and the slot becoming a main talking point too right now, because Boom Esport is suddenly going back to the upper division, and also Omega losing their slot from the upper division, and not only for the upper division, he lost the slot of the DBC season until further notice. I think, I don't know, and yep, and like, are Boom Esport legitimately deserve to back to the upper division? Or, like I said, is it fair to just like okay guys, let's use the final position of the last season, like I said before too, the match fixing is not of this our last DPC season that involves, like, how's your opinion?
I think it's the fairest way we can handle it right now, because of how little time we have until DPC. We have what, 5 days until DPC. If we were to say hold a mini qualifier for the last slot, it feels like you're just running the season at that point. That's because that's how it's determined. So the past rankings have to have weighting, and that's why the upper div slots are a bit more kind of hammered in. It's a bit more hard to be flexible around that. So I think the calling for Boom to go up because they were 7th does make sense, and just simplifies the process. So the open slot will be in the lower div, and that's where we're already running qualifiers. It is a lot more logistically sensible, and it still gives respect towards that Div 1 standing from the first season.
Okay, so yeah, because like some of people like, why Boom Esport, and then some people already explained to other people like they have a better position last season, and then deserve to just back to the upper division. And some of the haters maybe said that Boom Esport is doing a lobby with a something. I think Boom Esport not gonna do that with all the integrity that Boom Esport have right now, right? They're not gonna risk anything with the make their hand dirty with that kind of act, I think. So yep, what about the player, John? I mean, 4F just back to Dota, and Rams, one player from Indonesia, just have a buyout contract from his previous team, M11, I believe. And yep, first, the situation right now, I think I just gonna share it to you two guys, John. Like first, Ramsey is still hanging. Like the future of him. Like I think Ramsey still not talk about the contract with Omega. But and Omega also out of DPC season, and I don't know what is going on with the relationship between Omega and also Rams. And second one, I think 4F already post on the Twitter like looking for a team right now. What's your opinion about these two players right now?
I mean, for all of them, including Aaron, it's a tough time, right? Like they are the ones who are probably the most punished that don't deserve to be
Exactly
unintentional casualties, and it's tough because they have no shot at upper div now. Like absolutely, even lower div, there's div 2. There's no opening as well because open qualifiers finished. This came out on day 1 of open qualifier 2. They wouldn't know. They had no time to prep, so. I don't know what can be done about that. Like Execration has 1 slot open and they can register by the start of DPC because of how rushed it is. But it's just a very unfortunate situation and there's no way for that to be fixed. I think for Forev's case, maybe he gets picked up as a coach. I think that's very likely. But for Rams and for Aaron, it's a tough time. Like it's not good. And for them as well, right? Because DPC, when DPC runs, it's only DPC. You don't have Pro Series running. You don't tend to have a lot of online tournaments. The focus is on the DPC. So this came about at the worst time for both of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the current situation for Rams because Rams keep talking to me when he said that he gonna get like a chance to play on the upper division. He's so happy, and after that news, I just wanna tell you the story is like Rams. I hope you strong over there, boys. You have to strong. Whatever happens, we are all from Indonesia gonna support you. And he just sent me like one emoticon with the sad emoticon. I mean, like, oh god, this boy is gonna be so in the hard time right now. And yeah, okay. So my last question maybe. So John, this is quite interesting because from Omega Esports itself, like, hold on a minute. Omega said that they not actually have the official statement or maybe receive any copy of the decision from the organizer of the league regarding this matter. So I think, or maybe I do believe that Omega gonna make appeal to organization or what it is. I mean, is it a miscommunication? I don't believe that, but what they post is kind of they still don't agree with this situation or maybe this decision. What do you think?
I can understand why Smart would go that way. Again, they have a reputation. This investigation probably caught them off guard because when it does happen, you usually try to not make the team aware because once they're aware, certain things change. They might change their behavior in games. They might try to create alibis or whatever. I'm not sure. I'm not in that process, but I think what was done was they were given evidence from what may be pulling out some data from moved money or betting sites where money was suddenly moved on certain accounts. Perhaps that's one matter as well, and all of that does leave out the organization, mainly because it's not reliable to hear from them. I think for Smart Omega's part, they might have an argument as an organization to be removed to kind of distance themselves from the decision of players if it's not an organizational move. I still can't believe that Smart Omega as an org would be privy or would participate in match fixing, but they will have to prove themselves innocent first because the records show that all their players, including their coach, at least according to the bans, including their coach, are out. So they're going to have to prove otherwise, that maybe it's just the players, maybe it's just 2 players, maybe it's just a coach, who knows? But with the info we have right now, with the straightforward info we've gotten, I think, at least I think that BTS has, that they're going to have to work it out with BTS in the background. But
okay, so do you think BTS going to give Omega a chance to appeal? Because the DPC season is going to be start next week, John.
Yeah, it's too short for this season to have changes. Maybe by the next season or the next tour, it's possible. But that's not up to me. And again, that's a discussion for Valve and BTS as the DPC organizer to discuss with Smart Omega and to see what their side is, but they've got to have a pretty darn good excuse for an entire team getting caught in a situation like that.
Okay, so one last question before I jump into the closing state of this conversation. Like, is it still hard, John, to living up your dream as a Dota 2 player in the Southeast Asia? I mean, Southeast Asia already have a two case of the match fixing, right? One is Aero Gaming, and then this one, if I correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember just only that two. And is it still hard, John, to living up your dream?
I wouldn't say it's too hard. I think anyone that's within the tier 2 scene, up to Div 2 of DPC is fairly comfy. And Southeast Asia is one of the regions where DPC can provide you a lot more. And there's been an uptick in online tournaments. PNXBet, Moon Studio, BTS Pro Series in between does get a lot more teams in. So I think for these teams that are mildly successful, there is a little bit more flowing in for them. I don't think it's as desperate as those times. There was also earlier match fixing from the Philippines. If you remember, Bib, I think a few other Filipino players were caught as well. I forget now who.
The Indonesian one,
But there was
I
that
almost
early.
forgot. Sorry, I cut you in the middle. So I forgot that Indonesian also have one, which is Mahameru Esport that coming from Join Dota League back in the day. It's a big news in Indonesia. I forgot that. Sorry. So yeah. Well, I think that's it, John. Oh yeah, one last time, because the DPC is starting next week, I think. So you have any words for all the players and also the maybe the organization regarding this case to not happens again? Maybe from you, the time is yours, John.
Yeah, I'm hoping that with this reveal from Smart Omega, with what's happened to Smart Omega, that this does prove as a wake up call for a lot of players, for a lot of teams to play at their best, or play at their best capacity at all times. Treat the game with the respect it deserves. Treat the viewers with the respect they deserve. Treat their opponents with the respect that they deserve. That when you come into the game, you play to your max potential. You don't play to hit F10K. You don't play to stall the game out to 30 minutes or whatever, to find these little bet schemes. I think it's harder to pull it off and not be seen, because everyone's watching. A lot more people are watching Southeast Asia, and when something off like that happens, people will notice. So I think you sacrifice a lot in that choice for very small, short-term game. And there's a very long game here. Dota is around for a long time. It's growing. It's continuing to grow in the pro scene. So it's not worth risking your careers over. Yeah.
Okay, so yep, John, thank you so much for answering my question. Thank you for the information. I think it's a bit clear now for me, and then let's just wait what is gonna be happens in the next few days, and then I think good luck if you doing a casting for the DBC season, I think. And yep, thank you so much, John. Bye bye.
Thank you.